So Betty is our new avatar for running scenarios. So say hello to Betty. Betty, let's see. There's two ways to get into the Compare Pro. One is the Start New, which literally starts a new scenario. The other way is tapping on the card itself. And when you tap on it, you can actually see all the scenarios that you've ever created. You can search them right on top. You can also filter them. So right on top, there is a little filter button. Let me look at all my purchase scenarios, all my renewals, or just the mortgage only scenarios. So this is all my purchases. And then you can search within. It's all there for you. And if you want to create a new scenario, just tap on new scenario at the bottom and it will start a new scenario. So let's do one together. Right away, it asks you, is this a purchase scenario, a renewal scenario, or a mortgage only scenario? So in our case, we're going to go for purchase because we want to create a nice report at the end as well, right? So here, let's do one purchase scenario. The initial screen, the onboardings here, it actually helps you just to set up the initial information. Once you get into the tool, you have a lot more options to work with. So let's call this Betty. She wants to purchase, and we're going to give her a nice color here. Let's go for a little bit reddish here. So I'm gonna use $850,000 as the starting price. Pick the location. Let's go Toronto. Next. Let's ask you if you're a first-time buyer. Why? Well, if you're a first-time buyer, you can actually, if it's an insured mortgage, you can get a 30-year amortization. So this tool sort of sets you up for that. Let's choose yes. Asking you if it's a house or condo. If you select condo or house, you'll see what happens. We actually estimate the property taxes and condo fees across Canada because we've included the app with all the mill rates, all the property tax rates, and we update them annually. This is to help you if you don't have a property in mind. If you do have a property in mind and you know the property taxes, turn this guy off and enter in the actual property taxes because that's the report will generate exactly what you put in. I'll keep it as auto estimate because I don't have a property. Also, the other thing in here is a new construction. New construction, again, if you're purchasing a newly built home, you can get a 30-year mortgage, 30-year insured mortgage. Let's go next. So the initial options, the app tries to be a little bit smart. It gives you a bit of a difference between down payments because it's assuming you want to compare down payments. So it gives you the minimum by default and then 10, 15. If it's over 1.4 or 1.5 million, it'll have different configuration. So let's leave it at this because it's a cool way to show it. You can tap on this area and you can change the names. So if you need to change the option name, tap on it. And then it automatically picks the minimum qualifying rate as your base rate, but you can go in here and find a rate. So let's pick this top one here. And then for the second option, we pick the second option in the rates, also Marathon. And then for the third option, I'll pick a Desjardins here. But if you need other rates, you can configure them right here and you can filter it out. So we got 3 different down payments and 3 different rates. I wouldn't advise to do that. So for example, because then you don't know what's really changing, what are you really comparing. So one thing we added in here is the apply to all, which allows you to just set everything to the same. So if I hit this, the rates now all become the same. If I were to do this to the down payment, they will be equal. So I'll keep it the same. I mean, I keep the rates the same and the down payment's different. Okay, let's create my comparison. Boom. Does some work behind the scenes, generates you this nice table where you can see everything side by side. It even tells you what the differences are. So you can see the exact difference between the down payments and the mortgage balance. We automatically select option 1 as the base case. Once you select the base case, the other two options compare themselves against the base case. So these differences is actually comparing to the base. If I wanted to make this second option the base case, just tap on this area, set as base, and you can now see everyone now compares against option 2. You notice there's a button that says add new option. Let's try it out. Add option 4, sure. It automatically gives me a nice name. Oh, there it is. Created an option number 4. Let's do it again. Option number 5. And you get this dazzling UI that you can now compare horizontally 5 options side by side. Let me actually change the option 4 to 20%, just so that we have a difference. And I'm going to change option 5 to type it in 25%. So now we have actually different down payments across the different options. If you ever wanted to move, for example, option 5 to the first spot, you can just reorder them by just tapping on any of them and say reorder. Now you can move them up and down, place them where you want them to be. So now option 5 is in the first slot, and we're going to make it the base case. Cool. Let's go further down. You can tap on almost anything. So I would urge you to try it out because, for example, this little menu here changes things for you. You can change the first-time home buyer, newly built, convert insurable to insured, set the insured premiums, lots of advantages there. You can see the payments clearly side by side. And the famous, well, not famous yet, but the incredible mortgage journey map that we're not doing anything with yet in this scenario, because we just want a simple purchase to start off with. Some things you'll definitely have to go through a couple times is the analysis button here. So don't forget it exists. It tells you exactly the payments between the different options. You can over to interest. You can see we're just using very basic comparison. So the graph is not as interesting. Straight lines makes sense, right? All we changed was we only changed the down payment. Right up here, you have the table. Tap on it. You can see everything, what the interest was for the term, the principal, the total paid, the balance at the end of terms, and the effective amortization. Nothing has changed here because we're only comparing down payments. But let's go create a report. So for that, I want to actually do something. I want to go to realtor.ca and pick out a property picture because that's what I like to have. And I'll show you how it works too. So I just went to realtor.ca or like any other, or even if you have a picture on your phone, just you can even screenshot it. And then when you're creating a report, you can now choose a picture. All right, so let's choose the picture here and boom, ready to go. Let's put in the address. So I'm gonna pick whatever, I just pick the first option that I previously put in. And it breaks it down for you so you can actually correct it because we're using Google search for this. And sometimes it may be wrong. For example, you want to say Crescent, right, as opposed to CT. That's up to you. And then we create a preview here. This generates a nice report on your phone that you can share, and you can just tap on the share button right here. It'll give you a bunch of options to put in: WhatsApp, Facebook, Messenger, email. You can also include a PDF by turning this guy on and change the language of the report to other languages. So for example, French. If you have a French client who wants to see everything in French, just use that. Let me share it to my desktop by AirDrop here. and you can see it in full screen as well. Of course, with all our reports now, when someone views it, you get a push notification. So if you were to send this to a client through text, or a client opens it up in 3 weeks because now they're back on the market, you'll get notified, and it's a perfect time to reach out and talk to them. And some of the details about the term. Downloading a PDF has never been easier by just tapping this button, and it'll create a nice PDF for you and download to your computer.